Today we're going to look at a problem in which we have to put a border around a pool. We have to figure out how many tiles we would need to put a border around a pool. So what I wanted to start off with is a pool with length of 5. The pool is in the shape of a square. And can anybody tell me how many tiles you would need to put a border around the outside of this pool? Lulu?
I think you need 24.
How'd you get that?
Because you need 4 tiles for each, you need 5 tiles for each side. And then you need 4 for all the corners.
Okay, you want to come to the overhead and use some of the overhead tiles to show me how you're thinking about it? What do you guys think about what Lulu said? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Mike, what do you think? Did you say 24?
Yeah.
You disagree? What do you think?
I think it's 20.
You think it's 20?
Yeah.
Why?
Because 5 times 4 is 20.
Okay. What do you guys, let's comment on what Mike said. Leo, what do you think of what Mike said?
Lulu also said they had to have the tiles to put on the corners of the thing, so that equals to another 4 tiles, so 20, and that makes 24.
Did you get that? So what's different about what Leo said than how you were thinking about it?
He added the corners.
Aha. Tiffany, something to add?
From Mike, why didn't you multiply 5 by 4? How you got 4?
Because there are 4 sides. 5.
Yeah, but wouldn't you multiply like length by width? You understand what I'm saying?
You have a comment, Mike?
That's what I just thought that you were thinking of finding area or something. I don't know, something like that.
Yes, Mike?
When times width would be 25, and there aren't 5 sides, there are only 4 sides.
So Tiffany's bringing up the idea of area, length times width. Were you thinking of area?
I guess.
You think you were, but you just said that area would be 5 times 5 would be 25.
Yeah. Oh wait, no.
Keep thinking about it, okay? You were thinking, I think you were thinking about something that we're going to talk about anyway, so see if you can make connections. Does anybody else have a comment on the number of tiles you need? Oh, Lulu, you're doing exactly what I hoped you would do. Look how she's setting this up. Amber?
She's putting the 4 corner squares in different colors to show that the 5 tiles on each side, representing the 5 for each side, plus the corners.
So what do you think when you're doing this question? What do you think is the part of the border that people might forget? Pascal? The corners. Why do you think people might forget the corners? Claire?
When you look at the drawing, you only see what's inside, and you don't really think about how to create the outside. So you only think about what's inside the square.
What's inside the square in this part?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think about like the outside, but you don't think about if you were to actually create a border, and then you just think that it would be the way it looks or appears, but you don't think about how you'd actually create the outside.
Okay, who wants to add on to that idea? Chloe?
I think people think more about the perimeter,
Aha.
and they don't include the corners, because when you count up a perimeter, so I think people like take border and put it with perimeter and don't include the corners, because when you think perimeter, you only think how many units across and down and how many are around it, surrounding it, not...
Can you connect your idea about perimeter to something somebody else in here already said?
Mike.
Yes, Mike. Go ahead.
He wasn't including the corners, I guess, because he figured if you were just going to border the sides of the, is that a pool?
Yeah.
If you're just going to border the sides of a pool, you wouldn't include the corner because you don't count that in perimeter.
Okay, so Mike, does that clarify for you what you were thinking in the first place?
Yeah.
So which measurement were you thinking of?
Just 5 times 4.
Which is equal to the area, the perimeter,
The perimeter.
Okay, the perimeter. Lulu, would you fill in here the number of tiles needed to border the pool? Just put in the number. So is everybody okay with this? Does anybody have a problem? Okay. So I want to just clarify some of the things that we've already sort of gotten into. Now what I want to do is see if we can move from the specific examples to something more general. Can we find an efficient way to calculate the number of tiles you would need to border a pool, a square pool, no matter what the side lengths of the pool were? How would we go about doing that? Why don't you talk to the person next to you for 1 second, see if you could figure out a way we could come up with something that would tell us the number of tiles no matter what the pool length was. Okay. So now let's go back to our original thing, our original pool that has side length of 5. Okay? Just laugh. Okay. Fine. Okay. I knocked into the 4 too, Chloe. So how can we take our equation, which is y equals 4x plus 4, or the other way we said was n equals 4s plus 4. How can we take that equation? We know that equation works according to our table and our graph. How can you take that equation and make it make sense with this picture? What does each part of the equation represent in terms of something on the diagram? Natalie?
The n is the number of tiles. The s is the side length.
Okay.
So if you were to put in a side length in for s, you would be able to solve for n, or a number of tiles needed.
Okay. Can somebody paraphrase or add on to what Natalie said? Lulu?
You could just You could just substitute what s equals, and in this case it would be 5 for s, and then solve the equation.
Okay, so if you let the side length be equal to s, how many side lengths do you have? Tammy? 4. 4 side lengths. What does that correspond to in the equation? Pascal? How many s's?
4.
Here it is. These are our 4 side lengths. What's this part? What's the 4? How does that relate to our picture? Shayna?
That's the 4 corner.
Aha. So here's a corner, here's a corner, here's a corner, and here's a corner. Okay. So the 4s is our 4 side lengths, and the plus 4 is our 4 corners. What I'm going to ask you to do is work in your groups. We're going to just count off. You're going to go in groups, and I want you to see how many different equations you can come up with to express this. How many different ways you can come up with to express the number of tiles you need to border a pool. You're all going to